Tingles with flyby. Daily ASMR videos. Hello, my tinglings. Today we're out on the sand dunes, and I'm going to be teaching you how to track some animals. So on the dunes, it's a very good place for picking up animal tracks. And we've actually got a couple meeting right here, but starting off with this big one that we can see here. And this will be a bunny. So these two, and then this 1 and 1. So is it their front? I don't remember if it's their front or back feet, but this pattern is definitely a rabbit. So you get these two, and then a 1 and a 1, and it's quite large. So we're outside of the Arid Recovery Reserve right now. They are excluded from the reserve, so that's why we see it on the outside. So we'll also have a look. You can see here, kind of crossing the path of the bunny, are these little feet, and you can see they look quite a bit longer, and they come out, they have a little toe. That means probably they have a claw in the toe there. So this looks probably like a Spinifex hopping mouse, kind of hopping across. So that's what we have so far. I'll come and find us a few more tracks. So here you can see another track. It's a lot lighter. That's because this sand is a little harder, but also because this is probably a lighter organism as well. This is most likely some sort of, it's got a little, actually could be a lizard. It may just be actually that I'm saying that because if we actually look up over here, you can see that 3-toed section, which is very characteristic of lizard feet. I thought for a second it was maybe more like a scorpion or something like that, but it's probably actually more likely a lizard. And the kind, it would not be a gecko. It doesn't have the gecko foot, and it doesn't have any body drag, so you'll sometimes see kind of something dragging through the middle, which is either a tail or a body drag. We don't see anything like that, but it's definitely some sort of lizard. Okay. Now this is a really fun track. If we look in a little closer, you can see here it's got this little 5 print, and that's a gecko foot. So this is another lizard, but it's a gecko type lizard. And they're small and very cute, so you can see the trail, how it kind of comes up through here. So that's our little gecko. So another kind of fun thing to note here is if you look at these marks in the sand, they obviously don't look like wind marks, but they also don't look like anything made by an animal. So you'll notice over here we have this little bush. So when it gets all windy, this will kind of wave around. And this could be a stick, or maybe if this flaps far enough, it could come over here. So these are going to be little lines that you get from the bush, or the plant, the leaves of the plant. So it's quite interesting. Actually got, oh, this is really too light. Coming through here, This is something that looks like it has a tail drag. Probably some sort of lizard. It's coming up this way, but a bit hard to make out for sure. This is actually quite an interesting example of that, because it's actually moving in a line, kind of like you would see an animal move, but we can see the stick at the end, so you can see that's kind of just moved from here through to here. It's just because none of these patterns look consistent with any sort of animal. So it's just something to be aware of, is that you can get, sticks and plants making these lines as well. It's not all animal that you see on the dunes. What I want to show you here is you can actually sometimes follow these tracks for quite a long time. So we can see this one kind of come around and down through here, and then it comes across, and you can actually see one goes off that way, one goes off that way. I'm not sure. We'll just follow one of these, and then it comes up through here and then up. Kind of lose it there, but it looks like it probably reconnects through to here, and just goes on. So if you have a still enough spot, you can actually see these tracks go on for quite a while. The way you actually set them up, if you are doing it for an actual official scientific study, is you actually lay out a little, well, we're doing like a 1 meter by 10 meter patch, and then each night we'll rake it flat so that we know that any footprints that we get have come from that night, so we can have a record of place and time and where these animals are coming from. So it's pretty cool though, just to find out all the things that you can find out just by seeing the little prints that people leave behind. Here we have a little Larista track. You can see it kind of winding its way through the sand. It's a really cool track. I love it. You can actually see these all around on these dunes. They are, it looks a bit snake-like, but it's actually a lizard, and it has two little hind legs that are quite small, and the long, narrow body. And so it leaves this, it kind of uses an undulating movement, the same as a snake, but still uses those back legs, which have two little toes as well. But yeah, if you look here, you can see this is actually a bit more like a snake track, because snakes actually push against the side, and so they don't, it's not even across the whole ground where they make their track, so you get this kind of push from side to side, whereas the Larista just makes that even movement through the center. The body drag goes the whole way, rather than that really distinct push from side to side to side that you get in a snake. So it's actually pretty cool. That would be a quite small snake, so nothing to be worried about there. But these are really, really cool. So if we look here, we have a scorpion burrow, and they kind of have this characteristic etching on this side. You can't see it very much, it's pretty windswept. But so probably these markings along here or here are a scorpion, but it's too windy to make them out. But I wanted to show you the little burrow that the scorpions make. Might just give you a little bit of time as we're going around looking. So you can just see, this is kind of the process I'm going through, is just kind of scouting out what's around us, looking for some prints. So these aren't all completely covered in prints. Oh, I see something here. This is something you would most definitely hope to not see inside the reserve, since they're the big reason we're not trying to have them in the reserve. A lot of you might have one of these in your home, but hopefully not this one. This is a feral cat. So you can see the little circle and the little paws coming off. Also, they kind of walk opposite, so that's a good way to tell them from the rabbits, is you don't have any where it's really that 2 and then 1, 1. You can see they're all kind of differentiated, and they are walking quite a lot in a line here. Some of them you see a bit further across, but could probably follow. This is going backwards. The cat was going the other way. The cat was going this way. Coming through. Where did it go? Came around here. My shadow's in the way. Then looks like it probably tried to go and catch something in here. Or maybe it was following something that was going up to a burrow up there. Bit hard to say, but that's where we lose the cat track, but you can definitely see there was a cat there. Okay, I'll turn you back on so we can search some more. We have a little ant hill there. You actually get some really large ants through here. You can probably hear some of the flies buzzing around as well. Here's my shadow. Try and walk against my shadow, maybe. But some of these, they're probably, you can see the dunes quite windswept, so it's actually been quite windy the last 24 hours. So a lot of these marks have been covered up. We've got some marks here. This is probably a hopping mouse. A little hard to say. Got maybe some sort of lizard through here. Could be a gecko. And we definitely have a Larista winding its way through there. See lots of rabbit poops around, but see, that could be a rabbit. That's the 211, about the right size, but these are so faint that it's a bit hard to tell. Maybe we'll go back through the dune this way. See, I think here we have probably a little snake. Doesn't look that quite same pattern of the Larista. Here's another little plant. It's been blown actually really far down. I think we'll just walk out to the edge of the dune, see if we find. This looks a bit like a bunny. The 2 and the 1 and the 1. hopping off. And I think that's our cat again. It's definitely a cat. I don't know if it's our same cat or not. It's a bit windy here. These are really windswept. See your cat walking in a line again. Cat likes to patrol around here. The cats are a big problem here. That's why they're kept outside of the reserve. But you can see, I mean, there's all these little hopping mice and different things that the cats like to eat. They cause some major issues. Another little Larista. Always love to see the little Larista. They're just such a cool pattern. See, a lot of these are just so hard to distinguish. Right here I have quite crunchy sand, so not even my footprints. We'll see. Mine are still quite shallow, even though I'm probably quite a bit heavier than a lot of the organisms going through. Kind of getting down the dune. So the best place is up on the dune, whereas we're getting closer to the swale. The swale is the place in between the dune. So we'll get up on the dune and see what we can find on our way out. Another little Larista. This, I think that's just some vegetation. We saw some raven tracks earlier. It'd be cool if I could show you some, but not sure we'll find any. That's a little plant sweep. And that's probably a bit of a few different hopping mice, I reckon. Little Larista through there as well. That looks like a human. It's probably me. And another cat. You can see them in line. I mean, it could be the same cat, I just mean it's a different track. Well, we're just about to the edge of the dune. You can see the cat, and oh, that's actually a really good scorpion. You can see that marking where they've been digging down into their burrow, so that's a scorpion burrow. So that's my just kind of a mini lesson on animal tracking in the arid zone and what we see here. And yeah, so thank you for joining me, my tinglings. I hope you've enjoyed it and learned something a little new. I thought it was a lot of fun to learn about the kind of sand in the way it captures some of these things. So I'm glad I got to share that with you. And I will see you tomorrow with our Rocks Be Down Food Friday special. So look forward to seeing you then. Goodbye, my tinglings. If you're still